The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, presented by WinBet. WinBet is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From booster same game parlays to live in-game odds, WinBet has what you need to win. Sign up today. Bet $100, get $100 at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet. That's Sports Gambling Podcast. Wow, I can't talk today. I'm so excited for the All-Star game. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. State restrictions apply. We're also brought to you by the NASCAR Gambling Podcast. Start your engines with Rod and Cody and get ready to gamble on the Daytona 500 this Sunday. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No me, no the voice, no the guy. It's me, really real, villain real, Terrell Furman Jr. at your service for an all-star weekend breakdown. Got my guy Scott Studio right show. Scott, what's going on?
And nothing much. Looking forward to going through the All-Star weekend. I know that the dunk contest has kind of been a dud lately, and that used to be the headliner event. The three-point contest, though, usually delivers. And, you have a couple of events before that. Should be fun. I know yesterday's action was a bit anticlimactic, besides the fact that Giannis got hurt, but I'm sure we'll talk about that during the All-Star game breakdown. You have any takeaways from yesterday? Because the only takeaway that I have is that the Timberwolves are still really, really just bad.
Yeah, awful. Terrible. Good spot for the Timberwolves. Just a very
And Chicago.
bad.
Chicago's also bad, too, but we knew that.
Yeah, Chicago. Yeah, we already knew Chicago. But Timberwolves, we kind of said, hey, they might look like they're turning the leaf a little bit. And then they turned the page completely and went back and started reading backwards. So, yeah, I'm just done with Minnesota. I can't.
What did they blow again? Or were they up 23, 24 at home?
And like, it was a sizable, like, they had a lead in the fourth quarter. And it was like a 38-19, something like that fourth quarter. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I know that they led immediately 27-8, I think, in the first quarter, and they opened up a massive lead, but then they extended it to double digits again in the fourth quarter, and then the entire team fell apart. So.
Well, I have nothing else to say on that note. I'm just going to let that be. And we're going to talk about the reason we're here, because it's All-Star Weekend. This is halfway through the season. I mean, after All-Star, yeah, technically. I mean,
we're about 60 games in. It's like 2/3 in, but technically.
Yeah, but this is like what everybody calls the halfway point of the season. This is after All-Stars when teams turn it on, and you'll see who wants it and who doesn't, who wants to fight for positioning and who is cool where they're at. So I am 100% dug in, ready to mindlessly bet All-Star Weekend for some reason. I don't think I ever really come in All-Star Weekend saying, oh, I can't wait to do this or I can't wait to do this. I just see props and I go for them. Let's see. I'm trying to kick things off. And let's kick it off with the celebrity game. That's Friday night. It is Team Smith. That's the governor of Utah, I believe. Is he the governor of Utah?
That sounds right. He's a politician in Utah.
Yeah, so this celebrity game has a lot of celebrities I don't know. So it's like, I don't know what to say. Yes, Ryan Smith. He is the team captain and governor of the Utah Jazz. Oh, okay.
At first glance, by the way, there are a lot more athletes in this event than usual. Usually you just have a lot of actors and singers, and, you kind of just see like the Justin Biebers and the Bad Bunnies of the world running around, and they don't know how to play basketball. But this year,
Bad Bunny can hoop, though.
Bad Bunny can a little bit, but I'm saying it's more just about Bieber, because I know he won MVP a while back. But the point is, you used to have maybe a handful of athletes and not many. You have a decent amount of athletes in this field.
Yeah, your guy, Francis Tiafoe, he's in there. Been repping Bradley Beal around the world. So it's good to see that they added him to the celebrity game contest. And we'll probably talk about him a little bit later. You also have Team Wade. Dwayne Wade, he is clearly the favorite to win MVP at plus 325. I just think that is just not the sharp bet there.
Not at all.
Dwayne Wade's not about to go in here and cook a whole bunch of celebrity game with people. Like, he's gonna go play a couple minutes, then he's gonna go back to coaching.
Just for confirmation, by the way, this is still a fan vote?
I think so.
Because I know it used to be a fan vote. You'd have people with terrible stat lines. I think it was Kevin Hart who won the MVP like 4 or 5 times, and he didn't actually do anything in the game, but people would just vote for him. I'm pretty sure it's a fan vote, maybe not as much as it used to be, but I believe the fans have a pretty strong impact on who actually wins the award. So just keep that
Yeah,
in mind.
let's just go ahead and run off some of the past MVP winners. And we'll start from that 4-year stretch where Kevin Hart won that you're talking about. Then you have Win Butler, 2016, 2017, Brandon Armstrong, 2018, Quavo, 2019, Famous Lowe's, 2020, Common, and 2022 last year, Alex Toussaint. That's the Peloton guy, ain't it? That's the Peloton guy, ain't it?
It might
I think
be.
so.
Truth is, I'm not totally sure, but I know he's in this event again, so he's going for back-to-back
Yeah,
MVP.
I'm pretty sure Alex Toussaint is the Peloton guy, or like some type of workout guy. I'm pretty sure that's what he is. Well, Alex Toussaint's back in here and at 12-1. I think that's
Yeah.
pretty solid odds there, especially for a former MVP seems to do it. But I don't know, man. You have Calvin Johnson in this field. He's plus 650. You have, like I said, Francis TFO's 14-1. You have DK Metcalf is playing in the game. He's plus 650. The Miz, WWE, he's plus 950. Albert Pujols is plus 950. I think Albert Pujols should be a lot higher than plus 950. Ryan Smith, team captain, he's 15-1. You have the two the two WNBA representatives, Diamond DeShields and Enrique Umagumawale. They are both 10-1. Corday is 16-1. He's in the field. 21 Savage is even in the field at 16-1. 21 Savage can't hoop. You should never, ever bet that in your life.
21, 21, 21.
He's absolutely terrible at hoops. You should never, ever bet that. Janelle Monáe is in the field at 28-1. And then you have a lot of other people I don't know. I'm trying to read that, go down.
I don't think I know them either.
Azuna, 16-1.
I don't think any
Let's
of those
see.
have. None of them have a shot to an MVP, to be honest. Like I don't think you're going to see a super.
Oh, is this the girl
MVP.
from Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings? Oh, I like her. Oh, see. Oh, I hope she can hoop. I don't think so.
I was going to say, no offense, but I would set her MVP odds a lot higher. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I really would. She's 16-1. The girl from
Pools
Shang-Chi.
odds are hilarious, though. He doesn't have a chance. Pools can't run. He can't jump. I don't think Pools has a chance at all to even score 15 plus points. I'm not even sure he's going to score 10. I'm not sure if Pools can move. Actually, I know the answer to that. He can't move. So how is he supposed to win?
Oh, the Jesser guy that be making YouTube videos. He's in there.
Is that the guy that's not the guy that does the impressions for like 30, like for the last 5 years, right? Is that guy?
No. That's not him. This is a white guy.
Okay.
This guy's 25-1. He actually might be a little bit of a sleeper because I think let me see. Let me click on this.
I still think it's a fan vote, so I'm just assuming they're going to be blinded by either if you're a superstar, just athlete in general, or if you are a well-known actor or whatever. I don't think he's known enough, in my opinion.
They really dropped the ball. They should have had fake Clay in here. This was the perfect.
I thought he was banned from arenas, so I thought he wasn't
No,
allowed.
he's banned from the Chase Center.
Okay.
He's not banned from all arenas.
Okay.
They should have had fake Clay in here. This would have been it.
There's no chance fake Clay can hoop, by the way. Right? I mean, like, probably no chance.
I think it's a pretty
safe bet that he can hoop.
I think he hit one when he was in that arena. Remember, he was in the arena shooting around. I think he hit one.
Yeah. Sounds about right. But anyway, to go to the actual MVP odds, I'm not taking Wade either. He's going to be coaching half the time. I doubt he's going to be on the court for much of this game. He might just have a brief moment there where he gets a couple shots off, leaves, ovation, and then he coaches. You want to make a case for any of the athletes? Because I think Metcalf is probably my favorite to take. Calvin's interesting because he's a great athlete and all, but of course he's been retired for several years. He also did not play basketball at a high school level. He was a football and a baseball player, and I'm sure he ran some track, but he wasn't exactly that involved in basketball for the high school that he was at and for college. So I'm actually going to pass on Calvin.
Okay.
I think the value is on Metcalf because Metcalf did play high school basketball. We know he's a great athlete. He can hoop, at least compared to other athletes here. So
Don't
I think
mind me. I'm just
Metcalf
plugging my
is.
computer up.
It's fine. I think Metcalf's going to have value at 650. If I had to actually pick an athlete to win MVP, he'd be my pick. Tiafo is interesting because there was actually a report or an article done on the the official tennis website, and it was talking about how Tiafo plays basketball as like a warm up for tennis. But
That's the only
according to
athlete I'm
him,
going for.
I was going to say a year ago, this came out in like March of 2022. He said, quote, I need work. I'm more of a spot up open shooter. My handles need work, but if I'm open, I'm knocking it down. So that was a year ago. So maybe he's tightened up the handle, but I am a bit concerned about the handle. But I do think Tiafo has some value. So you got
Man,
inside information on Tiafo.
if he very good insider intel, and it makes me feel better about my first pick for All-Star Celebrity MVP, and that is Francis Tiafoe 14-1. And just because you got to think, he had the story. He was going to, what was it, the US Open? Was it the US Open?
He made the semis of the US Open.
Yes, and everybody was rooting for him. He had the Bradley Beal jersey on. Bradley Beal was at the game. Everybody, like, I know Brad Beal gave my boy some pointers. Like, I know he gave him some pointers. And if he goes out here and he's talking about he's a sniper and he's hitting that 4-point Ruffles beater a couple times, he's definitely gonna get it. So I'm 100% rocking with Francis.
If he hits a random actor or actress with a Bradley Beal triple threat move, I'm going to lose my damn mind.
Yeah, like so,
Which is definitely possible, but he's been practicing. So if he's good or not, he acknowledged that he could get better. That was a year ago, once again. But the fact that basketball is a crucial part of his tennis tournament warm-up routine, that means he's on the court a lot, which helps. I think my two picks are going to be athletes. I'm going to go with Metcalf and I'm going to go with Tiafo. I'm going to keep it simple. Metcalf played high school basketball. That means he's more qualified than about 90% of the other people that are here. And we know Metcalf's a hell of an athlete anyway. If he backs down anybody, it's a free dunk. Like, I don't know how anyone's going to stop Metcalf because he's just absolutely jacked.
Nah, but have you seen football players in the gym sometimes? Like, they be like,
they might be stiff.
Be like, it just be sometimes, you know, some people are cool, but others are just big bodies that are just flaying themselves around. And
they are,
really
but the fact that he played high school basketball means he does have some familiarity with organized basketball.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's my two picks.
It's too low of a price for me for Metcalf and Calvin Johnson. But yeah,
I'm not taking 1. That's also the problem, is that I don't think Metcalf should be the same odds as Calvin when Calvin's past his athletic prime and he has no actual experience playing organized basketball. It's mostly comparing the odds. Metcalf should be a lot lower than Calvin, in my opinion.
And then I'm taking previous champ Alex Toussaint at 12-1. It just feels like he won it last year. He could easily just do the exact same thing again. And then my last pick, and it's not really a sleeper pick because the odds are terrible, but Everett Osborne may not know who he is. He's an actor. He played in Sisters. Pretty good show. Like that show. And he played D1 ball.
Okay.
So I'm definitely going back. He has actual, like, he played at what was it? Texas, Rio Grande.
Okay.
So he actually like has D1 basketball experience. Nobody's talking about him. Nobody's really thinking about him, and he's tall.
That was my case for Metcalf was high school. You mentioned actual college credentials.
Yeah, college D1 ball. Yeah, no, he definitely has those credentials. I'm trying to get his height because I know he's tall, a tall actor.
I'm gonna guess he's like 6'8". I have to guess
6'8". I don't think he's that tall.
He said tall. I mean,
but I'm saying like tall, like 6 feet is tall to majority of the world, not in the basketball world. But let me see here. Can I get? Okay. How tall is this guy?
I see 6'4".
All right, it's not falling. He's 6'4".
I see 6'4". Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so like that's a height advantage over a majority of the field, actually. So yeah, those are my three. I wish they had the Shang-Chi person at like the Shang-Chi or whatever freaking movie called 10 Rings. I wish she was at like 100-1 so I could put $1 on her.
I think Team Wade's gonna win, just for the record, but I don't know if we have actual spread and money odds there. But
no, we don't.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, that's the MVP
game. All right, let's move on to the next event of the night. We have the Rising Stars Challenge. I will run down the rosters for the people. You have 4 teams to pick from. Team Paul is sporting the lowest odds at plus 160. What is that? Is it 160? Yeah,
Yep.
plus 160 for Team Powell. He has, and again, this is younger NBA players, first or second years, and you have the G League players that they added in there as well. So we have for Team Powell Jose Alvarado, Paulo Banquero, Scotty Barnes, Jayton Ivey, Benedict Matherin, Keegan Murray, and Andrew Nemhard. For Team Darren, who has plus 195, they are Jalen Green, AJ Griffin, Bones Highland,
Well,
Walker
Jalen Green's
Kessler.
out now. Jalen Green's officially injured. He's been replaced with the Sunwoo.
Okay. And who was that? What was that? Walker Kessler, Trey Murphy the third, Alfred Sangoon, and Franz Wagner. And
Yeah.
for Team Joakim at plus 310, you have Jalen Duran,
Duran's
Josh
injured.
Giddey.
He's
He's
apparently not going to play.
golly.
I was going to say, according to the NBA website, it says Duran's out and he's been replaced with Tari Eason.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, I like Heason. All right. Giddy, you have Quentin Grimes, Evan Mobley, Jabari Smith Jr., Jeremy Sokchan, and Jalen Williams. And finally, for
That's Jalen
Team
Williams. No why, by the way.
No why. No why. Jason, Team Jason is at 5-1. 5-1 just seems insane. But you have Scoot Henderson, Mojave King, Kenneth Lofton Jr., Mac McClung, Leonard Miller, Scotty Pepper Jr., and City Cisco.
Suzuka.
Sissoko. Yeah, that look good job, Scott. That sounds like
It's a
that's
soccer
actually.
last name. I got to assume he's French.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, I really want to go for Team Jason because I like Kenny Lofton Jr. But
I like him and I like Scoot, but I mean,
I truly think I don't think anybody in this field can guard Kenny Lofton Jr. Actually,
unless the argument is pride. You know, they're a bunch of G League guys. They're just going to come out and just try
yeah,
to put on a
Scoot,
show. But
Scoot and Lofton Jr. sounds like a pretty good combination. I'm not even gonna hold you. I just truly don't think anybody. I mean, Walker Kessler is just big, but like, Kenny Lofton Jr. is a big guy, man.
I think it definitely makes a lot of sense that Team Pow is favored. I think they
Yeah,
clearly have the best
100%.
roster. Like
Yeah,
it's not even close.
but
I
that
think
roster never wins. Like the best roster
I
never
know.
wins.
Well, last year the team that won did have Cade Cunningham, so I don't have a historical tracker on this because this event's kind of new with the format. But so far, the number one pick did win last year. I know his team wasn't favored, but you're just looking at this roster once again for Team Pow, and you have Banquero, number one pick in the draft. You have Scotty Barnes, Ivy, who's a great athlete, and Matherin. Keegan Murray is a good stretch shooter, and you also have Nemhard. I think I have to take Team Pow. Like, this roster is really, really good, especially for one of these competitions. And it also is worth mentioning that they're fully healthy. The other two teams, not including Team Jason that we talked about, has no Jalen Green. That's a big deal. Former number 2 pick in the draft. I feel like Jalen Green would thrive in this contest because nobody guards anybody. And then you are missing Jalen Duran on the other team. So Pow's at full strength, and they have the best roster. I am going to take the favorite here.
Yep. All right.
You,
I
I feel you're going to
am
sprinkle on Jason just for the 5-1, but if you had to
no,
pick who
I'm
you think
not.
is going to win, you're probably going to agree with me.
No, I'm not going to agree with you. I don't
Okay, you're
think
not.
Team
Okay.
Powell's going to win. No, the best team never wins these things. Like it doesn't. The best
I don't know
team
how many
never
years
wins
they've
these
done it.
things.
That's the problem. I don't know how when you say the best team, they've done it what, once,
But
twice?
yeah, but I'm saying like who Vegas has listed as the best team. I'm just pretty sure. Like I don't know. I just don't. I don't think that team is going to live up to expectation. I really don't. If I'm looking at the rosters and I'm like, you know, I would have liked to still had the size of Duran, but I have Evan Mobley who's going
Yeah.
absolutely insane
I
over
think
these past.
my runner up would be Joakim. I have no interest in taking Darren. I have no interest in taking Kid.
Yeah, like I'm looking at. I don't know why Joakim Noah's squad is a better price than Darren, and I'm just looking. I'm like, I would say Joakim Noah's squad over anybody. Jeremy Sochan definitely been able to get going recently. Jabari Smith Jr. needs something to pick himself up. He needs something to
The
remind
problem that
himself
you have
he's a
with
third
Team
overall
Darren is
pick.
that you want them to run the offense through Şengün, but they're clearly not going to do that because it's an all-star game. So I'm not sure what Şengün's role even is, but he gives you no rim protection. I think that Team Joakim has a lot of length, and they have a lot of guys who can play two ways. Once again, that might help later on in games. I'm not sure if that's going to help out when you're having basically a fast break contest. But I think I'm just going to go Team Powell. But my runner-up choice would be Joakim. I'd be a bit shocked if Darren or if Jason won the event.
I'm actually very confident that Team Powell's going to fuck this up because they just have like a really good roster. Like it's too good. They're going to fuck this up. Yeah, I'm going with Joakim at 3+310. That's my pick.
I think that the move for that event would actually be to bet on both of those teams, and then you're probably going to win. I really don't see the other two teams having a shot, especially with Jalen Green now being out of the contest. Do you?
I think Jason has an outside shot. Very outside.
Okay. I mean, you're going for the sleeper Cinderella run.
Very outside. But it's not even Cinderella. Like, you have Scoot Henderson, who everybody is saying is already an NBA talent.
Yeah, he's going to be the number.
And it's the mindset of those people. Like, look at the people on that roster. They're all trying to get in. Like, everybody else on the other three rosters are already there. Those guys are trying to get in. They're trying to get back into the league. There's nobody that's actually has a defined spot in the league. So that's a pick me up, if anything, for Team Jason, that they're just everybody there is trying to hunt and trying to go get back in the league, and this could be their opportunity right here. And that's probably what Jason's telling them too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that I got Pow to win, but I think the best value play by far is Team Noah. Team Joakim should not be north of 3-1, especially with Darren's team being plus 195. That should be flipped. As far as I'm concerned, Noah should be around like plus 180, plus 190, 2-1, something like that. The value play is Team Joakim.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. What's the next event this weekend? No, before we get to that, I gotta talk to you about WinBet, because it's the official online sportsbook of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and are active in a bunch of states, including live betting and same game parlays, aka the Win. Build your own bet. Great promos, odds, and payouts are happening right now at WinBet. So if you sign up today, you can receive a special offer. Bet $100, get $100 at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. Limited to state availability. And of course, if you hit the biggest long shot parlay of the week, boom, $1,000 free credit just for you. So much choose from. All you have to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your special offer today. Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at winbet.com. Must be 20 or older in present state where playthrough WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. And now it's time for our favorite event of the weekend, 3-point contest. There's so many places. There's so many ways to start. I'll go ahead and give you the odds for everybody to win the 3-point contest. We are looking at Buddy Hield leading the field at plus 420, Damian Lillard plus 470, Jason Tatum plus 550, Kevin Huerter also sitting there at plus 550. You have Lauri Markkanen and Tyrese Halliburton both sitting there at plus 650, Tyler Hero at 8-1, and Julius Randle rounding it out at plus 950, replacing the injured Anthony Simons. So we have that. We have our odds to get to the final round. I'll spout those out for you as well. To get to the final round, you have Buddy Hield minus 125, Dame minus 105, Jason Tatum, Kevin Huerter both at plus 130, Lauri Markkanen is plus 150, Tyrese Halliburton is plus 160, Tyler Hero is plus 185, and Julius Randle is plus 220. And then, as Jake knows, we're already betting everybody's first round under on the 3-point contest. So we have the round one scores up. They finally have them up, Jake. You can go bet this now. Jason Tatum's line is set at 20.5. Buddy Hield is set at 23.5. Dame Lillard is set at 22.5. Julius Randle set at 16.5. They actually really hoeing him. Like, they're really hoeing him with a 16.
Are you sure? Is he going to have enough time to finish the first 2 rows?
Yes, he will.
He's not going to
Kevin Huerter
times before he takes a 3.
Kevin Huerter is at 21.5. Lauri Markkanen is at 19.5. Tyler Hero is at 17.5. And Tyrese Halliburton is at 19.5. And the thought process of all the first round unders is the fact that these guys don't do 3-point shooting contests. Like they don't just pick up off the rack. That is not something that just comes easy to a lot of people. That is actually very difficult. Some people are catch and shoot guys. Some people are walk up, spot up guys. Like picking it up off the rack and shooting is not common for a lot of these guys. And it's a lot of these guys' first 3-point contest. Like I know Buddy has done one before. I think Dame might have done one before, but I don't think anybody else has done a 3-point contest before. Yeah, I don't think anybody else has done a 3-point contest before. So, what, Jake? Do you remember what we were last year? I don't know if Jake remembers, but I think it was in the green and it was well into the green.
I think it was
we lost one or
profitable, but
two.
like somewhere in the. I think it was mostly profitable from what I
Yeah,
can.
I think it was like only like one or two people. It was one was Cat. Cat got over his, but I think it was like maybe one other person that got over theirs. Everybody else went under and just kind
Who
of
won the
eked
event
on to the
last year
next
again?
round.
Who
Cat,
won the event? It was Cat.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Cat won it. Longest odds. Cat won the event because he remember the interview. He was like, "Check the odds."
Yeah. I was trying to remember which year because I wasn't sure if Curry won it 2 years ago against Connolly or if that was the last year. But okay.
And Jake said he sees a bonus bet for over under on the Moneyball rack. All plus money for under 3.5. Last year, only 2 people hit the. Oh wow! So we got to find that Moneyball rack prop. Hit me offline, Jake. Tell me where you found that prop. I need that one. Might have to tap into that. But first round 3-point contest unders. You heard it here first. We give it out. Hopefully, we have another great year with it because last year was really good. I swear, I think it was like 6-2 or something like that. Like it was really good. All right. Let's just start with the winner, and we can talk about the final round in a minute. But starting with the winner.
First of all, is there any value on taking the final round when you're not even sure? Is there value on that? Or since they got that far, you'd rather just take
Well,
it as a winner thing?
you can parlay them. So I think that
Oh,
is
you
I
can
think it's
parlay
yeah,
them.
you can parlay the final round. So the only thing you can parlay is the final round, and you can
How many
put
How many people in the final
3.
round? There's 3. That's what I thought. Okay.
So you can take 3 people, parlay them, and if you hit the final round, like excuse me, guess the final round correctly, you're probably walking around with a good amount of cash.
Yeah.
I think Julius Randle's gonna make it. It's just the narrative. Like, come on, he just got added late. Nobody thinks that he deserves to be there, and he's gonna be the person that nobody's betting on that's gonna make it like Cat last year.
I don't necessarily agree because I just think Randall takes, at least when I watch him play in games, he just takes so much time to actually shoot the 3 ball. I'm not sure if he's going to have enough time to actually get through all the racks comfortably. He might have to start forcing. And the one thing that he can't have happen is you fall behind in the time, and either you don't finish or you have to speed up your mechanics in order to finish. I think Randall's going to get off to a bad pace to start, just based on how he generally plays. He takes a lot of time when he actually shoots his threes. His overall release and form can be a little bit elongated compared to others. Are you a bit concerned that he might be falling behind in the clock?
No, because I mean, Cat has a long release in form as well, and yet Cat went out there and did all last year. Like,
Does he? I think Katz is faster than Randall.
no, I think no, he definitely takes his time to wind up his shot for sure. It's just that he has the length when people close out on him that it really doesn't matter because the ball's already at its highest point. You're not touching it, but uh, I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking at everybody say Julius Randle's not doing anything in here, and I'm like, okay. I mean,
I
you
think if
really
I was
don't
going,
know. You really
if I
don't know
was,
because it just
yeah,
depends who feels more comfortable on the rack and who doesn't. Like, there's all these people. Like, I don't think Jason Tatum's gonna have a good day because I don't think Jason Tatum feels comfortable pulling the ball off the rack. Like,
Tatum has done a 3-point contest before. I'm not going to pick Tatum either. But Randall, I feel like if you're going to take him, you might as well just take the first round over because the number's at 16.5. That's a little bit disrespectful, especially with now the green balls, which are worth like extra, and they've messed up the rules and they've added like scoring here. You got the money ball rack now, so 16.5 is incredibly low. I don't mind maybe taking an over on a Randall, but you're looking at 3 guys that are advancing. I don't think Randall's going to be one of the top 3, but I do think 16.5 sounds criminally low for a contest which used to be out of 30. Now it's out of like 35 or 40 at this point. So there's a lot of points to be had. 16.5 does seem very low for Randall.
Let me
I'll
see
agree with
here.
you there. That's my compromise.
Let me see if I can get the results of last year pulled up. So that's Cat's final round. Where's the?
Who did he beat in the final round? He beat Kennard. Kennard in there?
I think so. No, I don't think so.
That was a couple years ago then. I know Kennard
Yeah,
made a deep run in one of them because I had him. But let me just see if. Oh, well, anyway, while we pull that up, do you want to make any case for who you think's going to win, or you're just going to take
yeah.
Randall because of the odds?
No, no. So I think Randall is being disrespected, and he deserves a look. And then I'm also here, and I'm going with the hometown guy and Lori Marketing. Like, why am I not going with the hometown guy? And I mean, it's not really hometown, but they've adopted him as their own after this incredible season he's having. Lori's sitting there at plus 650 to win the contest. And I think that he has opportunity to put on, and he's really, really looked good shooting the ball from the outside this year. But ultimately all these guys have looked good from three. So I'm just going with the hometown angle for Lori. I really don't have any interest in I mean, I guess Dame can get going. I don't know. Dame's been losing a lot, so I guess he'll take this as an opportunity to win something.
Jake is confirming what I said, by the way. Kennard was in the final round.
Okay. So round one, CJ had 19, Luke had 24, Pat had 21, Cat had 22, Desmond Bain had 18. Desmond Bain was like one of the favorites to win, too.
Mm.
I remember that. Levine had 16. Levine was one of the favorites as well.
Levine,
Fred
I
Van
remember
Fleet.
Levine was somewhat of a favorite, but wasn't he hurt? I thought he was playing through an injury and his odds like cratered. Was he the one that was injured and he was playing through it
Yeah,
anyway?
I think he had like a knee thing going on, but he was like he's doing it anyway. And Trey Young had 22. So one person got over 23 last year,
Yeah.
and
I was annoyed because I
only a
took
couple.
Kennard and then the second round, Cat went crazy and I never
Yeah,
stayed.
he had 29 final score last round, the second round. So
And I was right, by the way. The max points is 40 per round. So Randall at 16 and a half is really just mean. At 40, that's really just a mean number.
uh Tyrese Halliburton sounds fun, but I just don't think he's. I want to take somebody that's done the contest before. Yeah, I guess I'll take Dame as my last one. Dame needs to win something. He doesn't win anything. So I'll do Dame. I do a sprinkle on Randall, but Laurie is really, really who I think wins. Like I'm just going full in, homegrown Utah angle, and Laurie comes out as a champion.
I'm trying to think of how many hometown guys have actually won this contest.
Mm,
Probably not many, if
yeah,
any.
yeah, but I
So
think for the most part, you don't really have that
Curry's not in it
opportunity.
this year. Clay's not in it this year. So at least you got that going for you. But I think I'm basically leaning to the favorites here. Buddy Hield, I think, is probably my pick, just because he's been so good from three this year. I believe he just broke the franchise record for single season threes, and there's still like 20 games left. But every time I watch Buddy Hield play, he shoots 80% from three. So if I watch the contest, he's probably going to put up 28 points in the first round. So give me
Yeah,
Buddy
I
Hield.
doubt it.
He's just one of those guys. Everyone has one of those guys who, when they watch them play, they can't miss. Buddy Hield never misses when I watch him play. So I'm assuming he's going to have a big round because I'll be watching this contest. I do like Lillard as well. I'm concerned the threes might be too close for Lillard. You know, he's not going to have a guy in his face, so he's going to have easier looks. So maybe that'll throw him off a little bit. And I do like Kevin Herter. I think Herter is value at 550 just because he's more of a catch and shoot guy. I think he could do very well just taking balls off the rack and shooting. Those are my three options. I don't see a serious long shot. I feel like a decent amount of guys can actually win this event. So I'm not sold on really many of the odds here, but I do think you'll probably see Heald, Andesh, or Lillard in the final, and I'll take them. And my role player long shot's going to be Kevin Herter.
Mm.
But Buddy has done it before, which I think helps out. So
Yeah, I mean, and that's really like why I can't go against it too much because he's done it before. That's probably why he's the favorite because he's done it before. But
He's also just a
Excuse me.
three-point specialist who set the franchise record for threes in a season
But
already.
everybody here is a 3-point specialist. Like everybody shoots
I
threes
do
really
not
well.
think Tatum's a three-point specialist. I think he's a pretty good three-point shooter, but I think that this type of event, it actually pays dividends to specialize in basically only shooting catch and shoot threes. I don't think this contest is for
I don't
Tatum.
think you should lose points if you're able to do things other than just through shoot threes. Like just because he can do other
No, it
things
gets
than
you a
just
bigger
shoot threes.
contract, but it gets you a bigger contract for the sake of this contest. This doesn't seem like a Tatum contest to me. I know he's done it
When's the last
before,
time
but
somebody that only shot threes won this contest? Let's look
well,
at
when
the
you say
past.
only shoot
First of
threes,
all,
are you
let
including
me
Curry or no? Because
no,
Curry
because
does other
Curry doesn't
stuff,
just
but he's
only
obviously,
do you.
you
I
know,
mean, of course, you'll say a 3-point specialist because he's all-time leader in
that's why
threes.
I'm
But like,
asking.
you wouldn't think of him as a 3-point specialist. You think of
Okay,
him
so
as just
I'm
somebody
gonna
that can
read
shoot.
this off. I'm gonna read this
So
off.
you
So
have Steph,
yeah,
you have Buddy Hield who won it before. So okay, there's one. Joe Harris. All right, that's a 3-point specialist. I'll give you that. 2019, Devin Booker, Eric Gordon, Klay Thompson, Steph, Marco Bellinelli, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, like, and Cat. I didn't say Cat for 2022. So like, I mean, it's a little mix. I don't think that just because you're a
the
3-point
Booker one
specialist
is
that
the
makes you
weirdest
better.
one because Booker won a 3-point contest and then he forgot how to shoot. I don't know what happened. Like Booker's 3-point numbers just drastically dipped after he won the 3-point contest. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, that's what I'm saying though. You look at the last couple of years, and Curry we know is one of the greatest, probably the greatest shooter of all time. Buddy Hield won it before. Joe Harris won it before. Eric Gordon won it before. Bellinelli won it before. James Jones won it before. You even had like Capono who won it a couple of times. I try to lean more to the specialists for me. I'm going to go with Hield. He's won it before, but I just think he's an incredible 3-point shooter as well. It does seem like a Lillard year where he would just win. So I
Yeah,
think those
because
are maybe the
Dame's
two
not
options.
winning anything. So that's the only reason I'm picking Dame because Dame doesn't win anything ever. So Dame probably is going to go out there and try to show out a little bit.
I think I would parlay. Actually, what are the odds for finalists? It might not be good enough for the odds of Lillard and Hield finalists. Yeah, those odds are horrible. That I can't take. So never mind.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't think both of them get in. I
There's
truly don't think.
no value at all for any of these final round guys, by the way, because Hield's minus 125, and like these odds are horrible. Yes, you can parlay them, but I mean that's just
I'd
not
rather
worth
just
it.
put it. I just rather pick the winner, and I'm pretty
That's
sure
what
I
I'm
picked the
saying.
winner
Yeah.
because I think Laurie is going to win. I truly think Laurie's going to win.
Okay.
So
I'm not going to pick Laurie. I'll go with my guys.
Laurie, I'm on Laurie. I will sprinkle on Randall at plus 950. And do I really want to take my last little unit and put it on Dame? I think Tyler Hero, Tyrese Halliburton, or just don't have the experience. Just Tatum hasn't done it either. Yeah, because Julius Randle and Laurie haven't done it. So I need one person who's at least done it before. So yeah, I'll go with Dame.
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
just going to stick with the two favorites, and I'll throw in Herder as well.
All right. It's Laurie. It's going to be Laurie.
We'll
I'm
see.
very convinced it's going to be Laurie.
You said
All
it was
right,
going to
let's
be
see
Randall
here.
when we started, so you got to make up your mind.
No, it's gonna no. I said Randall's gonna be better than what everybody anticipates because everybody thinks he's gonna go out there and do nothing.
I'm taking the over 16.5 for Randall because you can get a max score of 40. Like that's an insanely low number.
Well, I'm still not gonna take the over because that's going against our first round unders, but I will not be surprised if he goes over. Well, it's people that go out here and score like 12. So
that is true.
Like, yeah, but according to last year, that is a disrespectful line because the lowest round was 16 last year in the first round.
And Levine was injured and he put up the 16. So
yeah, so they are disrespecting a little bit, but we're still trucking with our first round 3-point contest unders. Okay, next up, let's talk about the dunk contest. We have a field, Matt McClung with the, I guess we're calling him the Philadelphia 76er. So I'm curious if he wears the jersey, actually. Plus 150 for Matt McClung. He's the favorite. Jericho Sims at plus 280. Kenyon Martin at plus 290. And Trey Murphy at plus 380.
Why is Trey Murphy in this event?
He actually has a dunk package.
He does. He actually does.
Yeah, he has a dunk package. So he's my homeboy trained him back when he was in high school, I believe. around this area, and so he assured me, he was like, "Nah, he actually does have like a dunk package. He just doesn't have to use it."
Okay, I wasn't sure if he actually had a package or not.
He's actually a good. He probably will. I think he'll make the second round potentially. Everybody's betting Matt McClung. I mean,
Do you think the judges will do him any automatic favors because he's a non-NBA player, or do they hold it
yeah,
against him?
I
He's
think
basically irrelevant.
if he does something that if he attempts a dunk, even if he misses the first time and gets it the second time, if he attempts a dunk that's never been done before, and he says he has two, he says he knows for a fact he has two that's never been done before. I'm 100% positive they're going to give him 50s. 100% positive. Like this is Matt McClung is putting on for all the white people everywhere that people said that you don't have bunnies and you can't amount to this. He's putting on for all of those people. He has all of those people on his back right now. Matt McClung's about to go out here and show out. Like, I'm not even going to hold you. He's about to go out here and show out. The only thing that I think has going against him is the fact that he is probably going to be a little too overzealous. And if he goes out there and tries some incredibly hard dunks and just doesn't land them, he by rule cannot win.
I feel like McClung is the sucker bet here. And I want to make a case for him because I think he's the best overall dunker in this field. But at the same point, I feel like it's going to get held against him.
It's literally only two. It's only two options that this goes. He either does something crazy and hits the dunk, does something crazy and misses the dunk. He's either the first or he's last.
That's how I look at it. I think he's going to burn out, in my opinion.
Like, he's not going to be conservative at all. I don't think he's going to be conservative with his dunk choice at all.
Really shouldn't be conservative unless you basically just have a walk into the second round. But I'm not picking McClung. With a dunk contest, I'm not picking the favorite unless you have Zach LaVine or like Aaron Gordon in there. Even Gordon, because he entered it a couple times even without LaVine, and that didn't work out. But I feel like it's going to get held against him. You bring in a ringer for the contest. I'm expecting more out of you. Maybe that's just me. Maybe the people are going to be more generous about it, but does McClung even really have a following? I know he used to.
Yeah.
He still has a following?
Yes. I don't think you understand the power of a white guy that can hoop and how many people just follow him because of that. Like, he has a huge following. He actually got a multi-million-dollar deal overseas. He didn't take it because
that I knew. He decided he wanted to stay domestic. I knew that.
Absolutely crazy. He's ridiculous, but that is.
I would have taken the bag. I would have taken the bag.
I would have definitely.
Shout out to Bradley Beal. I would have taken the bag.
Yeah. Okay. But either way, he has a huge following. I'll just say that much.
Do you think Kenyon Martin Jr. actually has a deep dunk contest bag, or is he more of just an explosive poster dunk guy?
I think he's got a bag. I think all these people got somewhat of a bag. It's just, do they hit it? Like, are they going to hit it in this?
Big men usually have a disadvantage, but Sims has serious hops. I just can't imagine Sims going between the legs 360. Like, I think there's some limitations to Sims. I think he's going to go for more of the power angle. So I'm not going to pick Sims. No offense to your Knicks, but I think that
I didn't pick Sims.
Guys are better options. I think my main pick's probably going to be Kenyon Martin Jr. McClung, I want to take, but I'm not sure if there's value on him because, as we said before, he could just blow up, and it wouldn't totally shock me. We saw Jalen Green blow up a couple years ago, and we thought he was going to cruise into the win. I'm going to go with Kenyon Martin Jr. I just like his overall dunking ability. I think he's definitely got a solid dunk package, in my opinion. And he's also got a blend of athleticism and power, and I think that could definitely win some voters. Are you making a case for Trey Murphy?
Yeah. I think Trey Murphy has... I'm just going off of insider information, and I've heard that Trey Murphy is going to put on a show. So, okay. I'm splitting mine up between Trey Murphy and Matt McClung because at this, like, come on, we're not going to overthink this. Matt McClung has, we've seen the videos on TikTok, we've seen the videos on social media, all that stuff. If Matt McClung comes out there and hits those dunks, he's getting automatic 50s, like automatic 50s. So I'm just not going to overthink it. The only thing that can set him back is if he tries the crazy hard dunk and doesn't hit it. But, like, other than that, he should really cruise through this contest.
I feel like a lot of people are going to bet on McClung, and I haven't seen him play since Texas Tech. So I'm not exactly going to take him, but we'll see what happens.
He played for the Lakers one time.
Yeah, I know. I'm sure he had a 10-day.
Yeah.
He looked really good in those, 3 minutes per game that he played. Once again, I haven't seen him play since Tech.
Uh, yeah, it's McClung and Murphy for me. I'm not thinking too hard about this one. All right, let's see here. What's next on the docket? We have the All Star game, and this year it will be different because I believe it's the day before that they will be picking the team. So it's not like previous time where you knew what the team, who the teams were beforehand. They are picking the teams the day before, and so it's Giannis versus Team Braun. We'll see about what Giannis is actually doing, if he's actually playing, or like that was just precautionary why they took him out the game last night. But other than that, it's still Team Giannis versus Team Braun. First overall pick odds. Luca is the favorite at plus 150. Then it's Kyrie Irving at plus 300. Joel Embiid plus 400. Jason Tatum plus 550. Jokic at 6-1. John Morant 10-1. Donovan Mitchell 10-1. Laurie, Shea, and Anthony Edwards all at 40-1. Does Luca? I mean, does not Luca? Does Braun? Because Braun has the first pick. He had the most votes and the fan vote.
Well,
Does
you're
Braun
starting
just
with
grab Luca?
MVP. I'm going to ask you now.
Not MVP. That's first overall pick.
Oh, sorry, first
So
overall pick. Sorry. I just think it's going to be Luca. Like Jokic is favored to an MVP, and the straw poll suggested he's running away with it again. And he's now minus 250 to win the award. But this is not the All-Star game is just not built for Jokic because it just involves running up and down the floor. There's no defense. Jokic, I don't think, has much value in it. So I think it's just going to be Luka because Luka can hit a bunch of threes. Luka's also viewed as being a phenomenal isolation player. I just think it's going to be Luka. You?
I'm going Kyrie. It's Braun. It's Braun.
You think just because of recruitment for the offseason?
Yeah, like he goes and gets Kyrie. He's gonna go and get Kyrie first. Like Braun doesn't care about,
Kyrie's undefeated in this, so I can't. I mean, LeBron's undefeated in this, so I can't even say he doesn't care. You mentioned the first overall pick. I was going to go straight to the spread and the money line. We don't even have the rosters. I'll take LeBron. Giannis might not play. He has a wrist sprain. He hurt his knee the other day. I think there's automatically value on LeBron because Giannis should not be playing in this game.
Let me see.
It's at roughly 3.
What? Oh, the game? Oh no, the game was always. I think Braun opened up as a dog actually, and then got bet up to a favorite. Like it was always betting on Team Braun. Like if you have to bet the game, but I'm trying to figure out. Oh, he drafted Giannis first last time. Yeah, that's a good first pick. I would draft Giannis first too. Let's see here. I'm trying to figure out. It's between.
It's between what? Oh, I didn't realize he ended up booting out. Sorry about that. So looking just quickly at the MVP odds. First pick, though, I'm going with Luka. I'm not really going to overthink this. I just think at the end of the day, you'll probably see Luka go first because he's the future face of the league and yada yada. And I could see Giannis taking him and LeBron taking him. So I think Embiid might be worth a look, maybe as being the first overall pick, just because of the fact that he's unstoppable and Embiid could have a massive game. He is battling a bit of an injury though, which could definitely keep people away from taking him. He stated publicly, I think, that he considered not playing in this event, so keep an eye on that. But I think Luke is going to be the first overall pick. Potentially Ja, keep an eye on Ja. I think one team could potentially take him first because the All-Star game is really just built for Ja's skill set, where he's going to run to the rim the entire game. He's going to finish in traffic. He'll have some highlights. So I think Ja's maybe a sleeper there, but I think Luke is going to be first pick.
Do you know?
For him, what?
Do you know I was talking this entire time and didn't realize that I wasn't in the room anymore? I don't know how I got kicked out of the room, but I was talking the whole time, didn't realize I was in it.
So I was actually hearing silence for a little while, and I thought that you were thinking. And then I looked back, and I was by myself because I was looking at the tabs of the odds. I didn't realize that you booted out either. But either way, I got Luka first pick. My sleeper pick is Ja. just because I think that this event is perfectly set up for Ja's skill set. He's going to run to the rim. He's going to dunk a lot. I think there's some value there. I mentioned Embiid, but Embiid has been battling an injury, and I know he initially said he thought about not participating in this event, and I kind of wonder if that scares off some people. But I'm going Luka first pick.
I feel like you have to sprinkle on Jokic plus 650 first pick. Like
I think that the format's a horrible setup for him.
Yeah,
but
that has nothing to do with picking the guy first overall. Like that's if we're talking MVP odds, then we could talk about that being a horrible format. But it's literally just who these guys want on their team. And at this point, Jokic is a walking triple double, and at this point, favorite to be MVP. So why would he not pick him first? I feel like there's just value there.
I just don't think there is, because I just think based on how the format is set up and the amount of fast break points, Jokic is not really going to do much because he's not going to cross half court in half of these possessions.
And do you think they care about that?
I think they should. LeBron's undefeated. Like, I think LeBron actually is trying to win this every year. I think LeBron takes it seriously. Giannis, I know, has taken it seriously in the past, but now he's injured, so I'm not exactly sure. But I don't think LeBron's taking Jokic in the first round. Let's put it that way. Your Kyrie angle makes sense, though, but I think it'll probably be Luka if I had to guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess. I don't know. This is all for fun, but I just think that's plus 650 for somebody that's the MVP, and they're just picking guys. Like, if we were talking MVP odds, we're about to get to that in a second, I would understand that. I just think that these guys just pick who they want to play with, and I wouldn't be surprised if Bron said, yeah, let me play with this guy who was a 2-time MVP, and he's averaging a triple-double this season. I could see him now. Well, this guy, he's a, 2-time reigning MVP. He's averaging a triple-double in the season, and he's doing a lot of great things. He owns the 1 seed in the West, so I'm going to pick Nikola Jokic as my first pick. Like, I can just hear him saying some bullshit like that. Like, and I'm not even a Jokic guy. I'm gonna sprinkle on Jokic plus 650. Okay.
I have no interest in Jokic for this event, for the MVP. I as far as I'm concerned, I think that this format
again, first overall pick, not MVP. This is first overall.
No,
pick.
I'm saying you're talking about first overall pick, so I can maybe argue there.
Yeah,
but
I think we can agree. First overall pick. That's all we're talking about. Now we're about to talk about MVP.
I was going to
say,
I think we can agree for Jokic, just to go quickly on the MVP stuff. We think that he's a sucker bet for MVP.
Let me read off the MVP odds real quick. Bron plus 550, Giannis plus 650, Joel plus 650, Dame, Kyrie both plus 750, Luka and Tatum are 10-1, Ja's 11-1, Donovan Mitchell's 14-1, Jokic is 16-1, Shea is 21-1. Pascal Siakam's 25-1. Laurie is 28-1. Laurie and Anthony Edwards both 28-1. You have Paul George and De'Aaron Fox 40-1. Bam Adebayo, Jaren Jackson Jr., DeMar DeRozan, Drew Holiday, Julius Randle, Jaylen Brown, Tyrese Halliburton, and Domantas Sabonis all 90-1. I've locked in my MVP pick for a long time now. Super easy for me. It's Donovan Mitchell at 14-1. Donovan Mitchell has everything that you need to be successful in the All-Star game. Plus, you add that, he's the Utah guy, and they still like him in Utah.
Yeah, I think Mitchell definitely makes sense for the narrative. The problem was we also backed the narrative on Mitchell last year because the game was in actually, he wasn't on Cleveland yet. But, yeah, never mind. I forgot that he wasn't officially on Cleveland at that point. But I think that makes sense for the value. If you want to talk about motivation angles, and we saw him against Utah in Utah earlier this year, and I believe he dropped the 40 piece. So you can definitely make a case for that. I'm trying to think if I actually want to make a case for any of the favorites. Giannis is a sucker bet because I don't think he's going to play. So Giannis at 650 doesn't make any damn sense. So I'm not interested in him. Jokic, I'm not taking. Besides that, I mean, you want to look for starters. I think Mitchell makes sense because he's starting. Do you think that the winner has to be on a winning team?
Yeah.
Luckily, though, it's a random draft, so your odds are kind of 50-50 on that, if he's on the winning team or not. So I think Mitchell has value at the current number. I think if I had to pick anybody else, I think there is value on Ja, just because Ja is going to constantly charge the rim, and no one's going to stop him. So he might be able to have Westbrook numbers in the All-Star game, where Westbrook was putting up massive stat lines because he would just outrun everybody and dunk, and nobody was trying to meet him at the rim. So I think there might be some value on Ja, who's also starting. Do you think there's value on Embiid, or do you have the same argument for Jokic, where it's an up-tempo game? Joel's going to take his time going up and down the court. He's not going to get the ball enough.
Yeah. I just don't think. I think I'm looking for people that are not only able to score at the rim, but able to shoot a lot of threes, be able to fill up the stat sheet, specifically in the points aspect. And I mean, what Joel has going for him is that nobody's really going to stop him at all. But I just don't think that they're going to feed him down low all the time. So
I can't even think of the last center that actually won MVP. Giannis is like a unicorn, so you can argue Giannis, but he's not really a center, you know? I think if I was going to go for anybody else, I already mentioned Ja. The three-point shooting isn't really there, but still, I think that he's got a pretty good sleeper option at 11-1. I'm taking Lillard. I think Lillard's got value. You mentioned the three-point shooting. We saw Curry win the award last year because he made like 14, 15 threes. I think Lillard's going to win something. And we talked about the three-point contest. I'm going to use the Denzel philosophy. I'm leaving here with something. I think that Lillard wins something here. So give me Lillard at plus 750. If he gets hot from three, he can drop 40. That's good enough for me. But the two biggest sucker plays, in my opinion, are Giannis and Jokic.
So I'm going Donovan Mitchell, 14-1. I am. I want to sprinkle on Shea because I want them to be like Shea deserves something.
But I don't think that they would ever give the award to a bench player.
He's not a bench player.
Is he starting?
Yes, he's starting. He replaced Steph.
Oh, he ended up starting because he's replacing. Yeah, that's right. I'm looking at the original starters, so I forgot who's.
No, so the starters. So the starters are everybody that was in that first overall pick odds: Luka, Kyrie, Joel, Jason, Nikola Jokic, Donovan Mitchell, Ja Morant, Shea, Anthony Edwards, and Laurie.
Okay.
So Donovan Mitchell, sprinkling on him at 14-1. I want to sprinkle on Ja, but it's the fact that this is like a fan/media thing.
Oh, and they don't like the Grizzlies. Yeah,
they don't like Ja or Kyrie, and I really do think those two have pretty good opportunities to have really good games.
I actually think you're onto something there. I think I'm going to pass on Ja and I'll switch it to Mitchell. That's good. I forgot about the media reaction.
Yeah, okay. and just looking at the voting, like he got. I think he was the third fan voted guard, maybe fourth fan voted guard after Shea. It was something like that. So Donovan Mitchell, I'll sprinkle on Laurie because I feel like I have to. And I mean, it just feels like if Luka goes off in this game, they're going to give it to him automatically. Like if Luka has 30 points in this game, it's an automatic Luka.
I think some of it also depends on if they win the game. So
yeah,
that's why it's really annoying to bet this right now because you don't know what the roster, you know what the actual lineups are, which sucks. I'm assuming Team LeBron's going to win, but you don't know who's playing for Team LeBron besides LeBron. I'm just going to stick with two. I pivoted off of Ja. I'll go with Mitchell at 14-1, and I'll go with Lillard at 750. Those are my only two MVP bets.
Yeah, Luka at 10-1, Mitchell at 14-1, and I will sprinkle on Laurie at 28-1. I think it's Donovan, man. I think it's Donovan. Like that's gonna be I feel very, 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 very decent that it's Donovan. All right. And then I mean, the game, we know we're going Team Bron. Bron hasn't lost. It doesn't matter. We don't know what the teams are, but we're just gonna assume Bron wins. I want you to hit on before we get up out of here the total, because you have a great system for the total and it cashes for you all the time with the new ending.
Yes. So last year I was in the impossible spot of, it sounds fake, but it's true. I won a total in the NBA before the game was over, which sounds impossible because you can have overtimes and whatever. You actually cannot have overtimes anymore. I won automatically because they have the Elam ending now in honor of Kobe. So if you want some advice on the total here, live bet the under after the first quarter or after the first half. And you can really get some automatic winners because there's only a certain amount of points that you can score in the fourth quarter because of the Elam ending. So you're automatically capped off at a maximum of X amount of points in the fourth quarter. So my advice to you is I don't see value in overs anymore for the All-Star game because you're basically missing half of a quarter or an entire quarter at this point based on how the flow is supposed to go. So my advice for you on totals for Elam ending stuff, wait until basically halftime, take a second half under, or just take a live under after the first quarter. Because I think we agree you're going to see a track meet. The game's going to slow down as the game progresses like it always does. But the fact that there is a built-in first team to 24 points wins in the fourth quarter means you're getting virtually no points in the fourth quarter. And last year, I automatically won an under bet before the fourth quarter was even played. That's impossible. That's like basically impossible to do, but it happened last year. My advice would be live bet the under in the All-Star game.
All right. Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Not really. I won't be watching any of this. I'll be watching the UFC, so hopefully I win my bets. I'll watch it. I'll watch the highlights and whatever, but I'm not really a big All-Star Weekend guy. I used to be when the dunk contest was actually good. The three-point contest has kind of taken over as the main showcase, but they also added so many extra rules with the money ball rack and the Mountain Dew green ball, and it feels like they're just trying too hard. It seems a bit too gimmicky for me. So the main thing I'll say is find me on Twitter, Rice Show Radio. Find me on the tennis podcast as well. Besides that, though, I'll be watching UFC, but hopefully our bets win.
All right. Well, I hope yours don't win because you're on the opposite side of me, but I hope mine's win.
Okay. We're both Mitchell MVP.
Yeah. We can share that. We can share that. All right, he's gonna win, man. Come on, like, if you guys don't vote, I'm gonna be like voting Donovan Mitchell for MVP a million times.
We'll work out some compromises. Like, I'll give you some of the other events, and I'll take a celebrity game MVP.
Okay, as long one of us hit every event, we're good.
We overlap on Tiafo and we overlap on Mitchell. So let's see what happens.
Man, parlay the two. Do it. Go ahead and do it.
There's no way that's going to be legal on that book. There's no way they're going to let you parlay those two things, but who knows?
All right, everybody. Look, appreciate y'all first half of the season. We're going to keep it rolling and have a great second half and playoffs of the season. If you are not, make sure you subscribe to the NBA Gambling Podcast on YouTube, anywhere you get your podcast. Make sure you leave a review. Make sure you like. Make sure you do all of that stuff. Follow us on Twitter. He's at Rush Radio, @reallyreal__. The page is at SGPN NBA. Other than that, nothing else to say, nothing else to do. Just going to go ahead and end the podcast like this. We are out of here.